back again for another video. In this video, I will be talking about acquiescence or acquiesce. As far as the definition goes, it's basically to accept something without having to be forced to accept it. The Webster definition is to accept, comply, or submit tacitly or passively. And that is the definition of acquiescence. We all acquiesce to a lot of things. Here's the thing about acquiescence. Acquiescence isn't always without. Well, it is to definition without protest. The act itself is without protest, though. Meaning that, let's say that let's say my child, they're being hard-headed about something, and I tell them, look, you need to do this, otherwise you're going to be punished if you do not complete the task. Them saying okay, or them saying, but I don't want to do it, I don't want to complete the task, it's something that I don't want to do, and I say, look, here's what your punishment is going to be if you don't complete the task. And they say, okay, I'll complete the task. And then they go complete the task. All the way up into the point of before they did not complete the task, they were not acquiescing. This is a bargaining phase. You bargain with your pros and cons of whatever the situation is most times. Sometimes you don't. But most times when it comes to the step-by-step logic of how this works, you go through a bargaining phase. You go through a pro versus con, or benefit versus cost. You go through that first, and then you acquiesce, because this is without protest, because you have done the work in your mind to come to the conclusion that this is in your best interest, per your own personal lens, per your own personal decision. I see this happen all the time, especially with women, especially being a guy with women. I've dealt with women in my lifetime to where they told me, like, for instance, I'm a polygamist, right? So I tell women, like, look, this is just the way I am. I prefer having more than one woman, and I have multiple reasons why. I mean, there are always going to be pros and cons to everything. They try to rationalize, all the other pros or rationalize all the other cons without accepting the pros. That's illogical, right? And that's the reason why I can't take them serious, because anything that does not consider all thought of aspects, or all brought up aspects, and just push them to the wayside and wants to focus on the narrative that best support their rhetoric, is irrational to me, and is illogical. So I kind of dead those situations, because I'm not going to go down that road of having to argue with you about this. Like, that's just the way it is. Take it or leave it. But I've literally had women tell me that they were not with that kind of situation and still deal with me. Now, many would say that it's because a woman thinks that she's going to change your mind and that she's trying to get over on you, and eventually it's just going to end very horribly in her being bitter and whatever. Personally, I don't care. I don't care. It's not my job for me to figure out what's best for her. All I need to do is be concerned about what's best for me. And if it so happens to be that what's best for me is best for her, so be it. Although that is not my job or responsibility for me to make the horse drink water. I'm only, as a leader, I'm only responsible for leading them there. The decisions that they make past that point, that's on them. Because I realized that I'm the prize. For instance, I was dealing with this chick not too long ago. And chicks are very weird in how they deal with stuff. And I don't care. You know, I don't care. I know that I'm the prize. So I know eventually I'll get exactly what I want and what I'm looking for. And any woman that's not with it, I'm cool with that, because you're not for me anyways. If you're not with my program, then you're not for me. If you can't acquiesce without protest to my program, I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care about how many degrees you got. I don't care about that you never had kids and you're a damn virgin. I've met women like this. I literally met a woman who was everything textbook that I wanted in a woman. The only thing wrong with her is that she had some crazy ideology that didn't align with my core principles. And I deaded that situation. I don't care. I have to look out for my best interest, because looking out for my best interest and a woman who can get with that, acquiesce to that, will elicit the best situation between the both of us. I'm not gonna settle or make compromises on the principles that I have for the tier of woman that I want in my life. Meaning that there are, of course, different tiers, so there are different qualifications that you need to get past those tiers. I'm not gonna label a book a title of something that does not tell that story. Get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna label a book How to Chop Wood if I'm talking about gardening. Like, that's just not gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna label it accordingly. It's gonna be How to Garden 101, and the book be about gardening. That's just how it works. So I'm not going to label a woman something. I'm not going to give her a title of something that she does not fit the title to be. And I think that's where a lot of women get messed up. Regardless of what you think you should be in a man's life, if he does not accept you as such, if you will not acquiesce to his demands, his qualifications, his quantitative list of what describes this certain kind of woman, you will not be that in a man's life, no matter what you do. It's one thing you got to understand as a woman. But anyways, and likewise, there are things that men are going to have to acquiesce to. I know this sounds contradictory because, you know, masculine is getting hot in here. Let me turn this AC real quick. Masculine leads, feminine follows. But women aren't perfect, just like men aren't perfect. So therefore, you can expect some things to change that you did not plan for in this woman's life. Therefore, you're going to have to acquiesce to the situation that is best for the both of you as a leader. For instance, let's say, I don't know, you're dealing with a woman for years on end, and then, you know, she's totally fine, and then, I don't know, she breaks her leg. Like, you can't expect her to do everything that she normally once did. You have to acquiesce to her circumstances. Because as a leader, excuse me, as a leader, you have to understand that part of leading is following the situation correctly and making decisions as a leader along the way that you follow, if that makes any sense to you. But anyways, acquiescence is a core nature and a core fundamental of everything that we do in this world. For instance, when you sit down into a chair, your body contours the chair. It acquiesces to the chair because there's no protest. It's just something that happens. You know, when you lay down on a pillow, the pillow acquiesces to the contour of your head. That's just how it works, and it supports it. I mean, everything has a push-pull and an equilibrium dynamic in this world. Anything that is off of that that scale will eventually be spun out into outer space so that it can harmonize the solar system. That's the reason why we have things like the further belts outside of the solar system that we understand currently, because those are things that did not make sense and did not balance this solar system within. So it had to be flung out into a space that it could be in its own harmony. And that's exactly how people work as well. You know how many, I can't tell you how many people, from me staying on principle and me holding firm with what my belief system is, and me understanding that I'm the prize and I don't really need to acquiesce to a woman's desire. There's a difference. I don't need to acquiesce to a woman's desire, because if I do that, her desire changes all the time. I mean, granted, there are some core desires that a lot of women have, but when it comes to the superficial stuff, that stuff changes all the time. And then not even that, a lot of women not even sure what they want. They have no idea. I hear women all the time say that, oh, I want this type of dude, that type of dude. And you know the story, they ain't never the dude that they pick, even though that nigga was standing right next to him. And they ain't say nothing to him, right? So, you know, we see this stuff all the time. We see the fundamental of acquiescence. Everything in life has a point of acquiescence. Because if there was always constant conflict, then everything would be in chaos. But everything is not in chaos. And acquiescence is what keeps things to an equilibrium where chaos is to a minimum. And I'm here to tell you that you as a woman, you need to acquiesce to a situation or circumstances in which you feel that the majority of what is being offered to you is beneficial to your direction, your growth, your education, your all that you are as a woman. Just because there are small little things that do not fit your circumstance, don't look completely past that. As long as it's nothing that is like, okay, like I said, small little things. Like for instance, I met this girl. She invited me to go to well, she didn't invite me. We came to a agreement about what would work for our schedules, and so we went out to a park to hike. Brought my dogs and everything. Now, mind you, this is I had to work that morning, and you know, I get off work, shower and everything, you know, do my thing or whatever. And I knew I had to work later on that day, but I had enough time to meet up with her. I wasn't really doing anything. Everything else was taken care of. So I you know, I didn't do like my full fucking grooming. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna groom myself for a fucking hike. You know what I mean? To just sweat all this stuff out and then on top of that go back to work. So, you know, I didn't put a lot of grease in my hair. You know, I have sandy brown hair, so my hair, I'm part redhead, honestly. Like I'll catch you guys in the light or something like that, and you'll see that I have red tint to my hair. But you know, so it doesn't look like the normal hair color in the sun, and it looks dry and it looks unkept, but it's not. That's just my hair color. And you know, I came out on a hike with her, went pretty good, and you know, we have been talking since then. And then a few weeks later, you know, it came down to crunch time, right? You know, where it was put up or shut up type shit with me. And she got cold feet, and she started to make up all these little things. Now that's protest. She didn't acquiesce to me as a man, and I'm not going to convince her to do that. You know, I'm not going to convince her that I'm the prize and this is a good situation for her. I'm not going to do that. But she said something about my hair. She was like, well, you showed up on a date and, you know, your hair was dry. And I was like, yeah, okay. You know, and then I let her finish what she said. And, you know, I was like, look, you know, my hair is sandy brown. You know what I mean? It looks like it's dry and unkept. That's just my hair color. There's nothing I can do about it. I can put a ton of grease in it. It still look the damn same. It's just my hair color. And she had the face like yeah, okay. I was like, but it's all good. If you're not interested, I keep keep it funky with you. You keep it pushing. I was like, my options won't allow me to pussyfoot around with you about this, so catch you. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. Catch you later type shit. And I haven't talked to her since. This is a long time ago, but I'm not going to acquiesce to the situation. I'm not going to put grease in and tell her, oh, catch me with a fade up and no. I'm gonna come as I am. This is me. The minute I try to put up a facade that's different than who I am, I'm acquiescing to her situation and to her demands. And if I can't keep up that facade, that's when she's gonna start to show disrespect to me. I know how this goes. So man, never acquiesce to a woman's desires. Have them accept you for what you are, especially if she wants you to be the leader. How you gonna be the leader acquiescing to somebody else who's not the leader? Like, come on, that doesn't even sound right. So, anyway, I've talked long enough about this, but I just wanted to go over acquiescence and what it is, what it stands for, and how it plays out. But anyways, I got another channel too, by the way. It's called Wolf and Alpha Attire. I did a video and it sounds pretty horrible. I listened to the playback and I was like, oh, that is horrible. Never drive and try to do videos. Holy smokes. But it's called Wolf and Alpha Attire. I got 3 videos up over there. You guys subscribe to that if you want to hear different stories than what I'm telling here. So that'll be up, and I'll continue to put content on there and here. Because these aren't like super long videos, so like, I can do the content, no problem. But this has been the Wolf in Beta Clothes, because this is the channel. Like, comment, share. May you guys have a good day, and peace be with you. I'm out.